Most men will only experience unconditional love from their mothers, and some of us don't even get that. Most of us have never even felt appreciation or respect without conditions or hidden intentions. We don't know what it sounds like to hear, "I see you, and I'm proud of you. I'm glad you're here. You really make a difference."
So I already made a video on loneliness and briefly mentioned the male loneliness epidemic in my worldwide mental health crisis video. So since this month is Mental Health Awareness Month, bet you didn't even know that, I'll dedicate this video to the rampant male loneliness epidemic. So without further ado. Now, what's the cause of this sudden rise in male loneliness? There are many causes of loneliness, but the main cause of loneliness that really affects men in this generation is the inability to open up or being vulnerable to other people. This has been a long social stigma that affects many men to this day. Most men refrain from being emotionally vulnerable from the fear of being seen as weak. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying a man should be an emotional wreck and have no control over his emotions. All I'm saying is a man should know when to be vulnerable and to be wary of the company you keep, because people can use your vulnerability against you. So making sure you have someone you could trust that won't stab you in the back is super important. But that's the hard part, finding someone you could really trust. But nothing good comes easy in this life, so keep searching and I believe you might find that person. Another obvious cause of loneliness that affects men is the lack of intimacy. I have a question for the men watching. When last have you felt the warm embrace of the opposite sex? Let me know in the comments. Now, according to General Source Survey, there has been a 19% increase in male virginity from 2008 to 2019, meaning niggas ain't fucking. Now, why? Why are most men in this generation struggling to find an intimate partner? In my opinion, I blame internet addiction, especially addiction to certain websites like the Hub. Most of these men that are addicted probably find it hard to talk to the opposite sex, and some of them don't even try. They have already given up on the pursuit of a real companion and succumb to a virtual AI girlfriend. If you're at the point where you're listening to your yandere girlfriend comforts you to sleep, or you're talking to an AI girlfriend, you are at rock bottom. You need a hug from somebody. Normally, I wouldn't recommend therapy, but if you're at that stage, it's best you find the help you need. Without knowing, most of these desperate and lonely men are being taken advantage of. The main industry that take advantage of lonely and desperate men are the fake self-improvement gurus and the porn industry. Without lonely men, the porn industry would probably not be a thing. There would be no such thing as an OnlyFans, and these internet prostitutes would probably have to get a job. Honestly speaking, I don't care what anyone wants to say, but porn was probably the worst thing to happen to most of us young people. And I ain't gonna sit and pretend like I never used to go crazy back in the day. I would be lying if I told you that I wasn't feeling lonely when I was going crazy. Now we got the fake self-improvement gurus, guys like Fresh and Fit, that sell these desperate men an idea that the key to happiness is to get money and have meaningless sex with a bunch of gold diggers. They sell these men an online course for like $700 on how to become a high-value alpha male. And to be honest with you, if you're into that red pill alpha male bullshit, you're probably this close to becoming an incel. But don't worry, there's still hope. All you gotta do is remove yourself from these echo chamber and go outside. Now, ever since that one YouTuber named Shoe on Head made a video on the loneliness epidemic about 3 months ago, there's been a lot of extreme feminists and people of that specific community trying to downplay the male loneliness epidemic by bringing up their own problems. Here's an example.
So, I mean, like I said earlier, you as a cishet male are not more lonely than a disabled person. I would say that being a disabled person mentally or physically in post-pandemic society here is way more lonely than being a cishet male. And it is based upon things that are outside of their control. Like, I don't know, the fact that everybody just wants to fucking kill them all the time.
To these people, this is just a game of who's struggling the most. It's like me complaining about Women's Breast Cancer Awareness Month because there's no Men's Ball Cancer Awareness Month. It's corny as hell. I'm starting to understand that their whole internet personality is being a victim. These types of people will never find true happiness and would probably exit the game pretty early. God forbid.
Cishet male loneliness roughly translates to I refuse to emotionally lean on my friends or platonic partnerships in any way, and I have purposefully self-isolated, even though I have all of the power to not do that. This has been analyzed on Twitter to hell and back, so to not be redundant, I'll just say that there is no special male loneliness. That is just loneliness. Men do not experience a loneliness that a marginalized gender does not. And if they do, it is self-imposed for the sake of, keeping power.
You hear that, cishet male? You're just lonely because you want power, not because you're struggling to open up to people because of the fear of being seen as weak. Come on, man. Be a man and thug that shit out.
Just ignore these type of people. They obviously have mental issues, so they try to make their problem everybody's problem. So all in all, the male loneliness epidemic does exist. It doesn't mean that no one else is as lonely as men. This isn't a competition of who's the loneliness. The male loneliness epidemic trend is just a byproduct of more men speaking up on their mental health, which a lot of us keep to ourselves from the fear of being seen as weak. There's nothing wrong with feeling the way you feel. You're human after all. We all have our problems. Some not as dire as others, but I digress. Just know that there's someone out there that cares about you. Matter of fact, I care about you. So before I end this video, I need to call someone out to a boxing match. I challenge this specimen to fight me. I'ma ask him so he see this video. Fight me, nigga. So yeah, I'll see you when I see you. Peace.
Swift as a candle's gleam. Oh, close your eyes, the music is soft and low. Dream a while before it is time to